Most people assume growing fruit trees in extreme summer heat requires sprawling, in-ground orchards with massive root systems to survive the scorching sun. It sounds logical. Deeper roots should mean better access to water and stability against relentless heat waves. But surprisingly, dwarf fruit trees grown in containers can actually handle high-heat summers far better than their grounded counterparts. They produce sweet, succulent harvests, withstand intense sun exposure, conserve water efficiently, and in some cases, yield fruit much faster than full-sized trees ever could. Before we dive in, if you love home gardening tips, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a fellow gardener. And don't forget to drop a comment below with the name of the city you are watching from. We'd love to see where our community is growing. That's because container gardening gives heat-challenged growers something full-sized in-ground orchards often cannot. Control. Portable planters allow you to adjust soil chemistry, optimize drainage instantly, protect tender roots with shade, and the ability to relocate your trees to microclimates when summer temperatures reach lethal extremes. In today's video, we're counting down 12 dwarf fruit trees that thrive in extreme summer heat and produce incredible harvests even when the temperature spikes. And stay until the end, because the final fruit tree on this list is a legendary heat lover that actually sweetens its fruit as the sun gets hotter. Let's get started. At number 12, we have the dwarf fig tree. Most people picture figs taking over massive backyards with sprawling branch networks. But surprisingly, container planting often produces sweeter, more abundant figs than conventional in-ground planting ever could. Here's why. Ground soil is rarely perfect. It contains poor drainage, invasive soil pests, and inconsistent nutrient levels that force trees to drop fruit during heat spikes. Container growing solves that problem immediately by isolating the root zone in a tailored, moisture-retentive mix. The result is consistent fruiting through intense heat waves. Another huge advantage is size management. Pruning container figs keeps them compact and manageable. That's one reason small-space gardeners love them. Busy growers also appreciate their low maintenance. They require minimal fuss once established, giving you fresh figs without endless labor. Sometimes the secret to surviving brutal summers isn't bigger roots. It's total control over the growing medium. Moving down to number 11, we have the dwarf pomegranate. Most people picture pomegranates as large, unruly shrubs suited only for desert landscapes. But surprisingly, container planting often produces earlier, heavier yields than conventional ground planting ever could. Here's why. Natural soil is rarely perfect. It contains clay pockets, lingering fungus, and uneven moisture that force young trees to stall during severe heat waves. Containers solve that problem immediately by offering superior drainage and rapid root warming. The result is explosion-like summer flowering and reliable fruit sets. Another huge advantage is thermal mobility. You can shift pots into partial afternoon shade during heat domes. That's why patio growers consistently succeed with them. Busy gardeners also love their drought resilience. They rebound quickly after missed waterings, giving you striking crimson fruit with minimal stress. Sometimes the secret to enduring scorching sun isn't deep earth, it's smart mobility. Coming in at number 10, we have the dwarf guava. Most people picture guava as a delicate tropical giant that wilts the moment summer temperatures soar. But surprisingly, container culture often produces much faster, higher quality fruit yields than conventional garden beds ever could. Here's why. Ground soil is rarely perfect. It contains hardpan layers, root knot nematodes, and pH imbalances that force young guavas to shed leaves in midsummer heat. Pots solve that problem immediately by providing aeration and balanced organic nutrients. The result is rapid canopy growth and lush tropical harvests. Another huge advantage is microclimate customization. You can easily shelter pots from scorching dry winds. That's one reason urban gardeners get phenomenal results. Busy homeowners also love their natural heat tolerance. They thrive in blaring sunshine, rewarding you with aromatic fruit all season long. Sometimes the secret to tropical success isn't vast space, it's smart environmental control. At number 9, we have the dwarf Meyer lemon. Most people picture citrus trees requiring huge, permanent backyard groves to produce high-yield harvests. But surprisingly, container planting often produces juicier, more abundant lemons than conventional in-ground planting ever could. Here's why. Natural ground soil is rarely perfect. It contains heavy clay, harmful pathogens, and alkaline pH levels that force citrus trees to drop blossoms during blistering summer afternoons. Container growing solves that problem immediately by allowing you to create an ideal acidic, free-draining soil mix. The result is continuous flowering and heavy fruit sets even when temperatures spike. Another huge advantage is mobile sun management. You can easily adjust the pot's placement to optimize sun exposure without burning the trunk. That's why patio gardeners see such incredible success. Busy plant lovers also appreciate their forgiving nature, giving you store-quality lemons right outside your door. Moving down to number 8, we have the dwarf olive tree. Most people picture olives growing exclusively in vast, dusty Mediterranean fields. But surprisingly, container culture often produces healthiest foliage and faster fruiting than conventional ground planting ever could. Ground soil contains compaction issues, poor drainage, and persistent root rot that force young olive trees to yellow and stall under heat stress. Pots solve that problem immediately by providing exceptional root aeration and quick drainage. The result is robust, heat-hardy growth through the hottest months. Busy growers also love their extreme drought tolerance, giving you beautiful silver foliage and fruit with minimal effort. Coming in at number 7, we have the Dwarf Jujube. Most people picture jujubes as tough, wild trees that only belong on rural ranches. But surprisingly, container planting often produces sweeter, crispier fruit than conventional method ever could. Native ground soil contains hidden pests and moisture pockets that force trees into irregular fruiting cycles. Containers solve that problem by locking in balanced nutrition, resulting in heavy, reliable yields. Sometimes the secret to heat survival isn't raw size, it's smart container control. At number 6, we have the Dwarf Key Lime. Most people picture citrus trees requiring huge garden beds to handle hot summer spells, but surprisingly, container culture often produces punchier, faster harvests than conventional ground planting ever could. Natural ground soil is rarely perfect. It contains drainage barriers and pest pressure that force young trees to drop fruit in extreme heat. Pots solve this immediately by providing optimal aeration and quick drainage, resulting in thick clusters of tart, aromatic limes all season. Busy growers also love their compact size, giving you fresh citrus right from your sunny patio. Moving down to number 5, we have the dwarf passion fruit vine. Most people picture passion fruit running wild over massive fences. But surprisingly, growing dwarf varieties in large containers often produces sweeter fruit than conventional in-ground planting ever could. Native soil contains heavy clay and fungal pathogens that force vines to wilt during summer heat waves. Container growing solves that problem immediately by allowing complete control over soil warmth and moisture retention, resulting in lush foliage and abundant tropical yields. Coming in at number 4, we have the dwarf dragon fruit cactus. Most people picture cacti sprawling across open desert sand. Surprisingly, container culture produces far better root health than standard field soil. Garden beds often retain excess water around the base, causing root rot during heat spikes. Containers fix this instantly by pairing gritty, well-draining soil with heat-retaining pots, unlocking rapid growth and magnificent night-blooming flowers. Breaking into the top 3, let's talk about number 3, the dwarf kumquat. Most people picture citrus as massive trees requiring endless ground space. But surprisingly, container planting often produces sweeter, whole edible fruit than conventional ground planting ever could. Native soil contains heavy clay and fluctuating moisture that force trees to drop fruit in extreme summer heat. Containers solve that problem immediately by offering flawless drainage and root warmth, resulting in heavy, golden harvests all season long. Coming in at number 2, we have the dwarf starfruit carambola. Most people picture starfruit as delicate rainforest giants. Surprisingly, potted culture often produces faster, more abundant yields than ground planting. Native soil contains root pathogens and poor aeration that force trees to drop blossoms during heat waves. Potted setups fix this instantly through customized, nutrient-dense soil, resulting in stunning, juicy tropical fruit right on your patio. And finally, taking the crown at number 1, the dwarf red barbadine passion guava. If there is one fruit tree that truly seems designed for container growing in extreme summer heat, this is it. Most people picture guavas as sprawling, unwieldy trees. But surprisingly, container culture produces far higher sugar levels and richer flavor than ground planting ever could. Ground soil contains temperature swings and pest threats that force young trees to stall. Containers fix this immediately by isolating roots in perfect moisture-retentive soil, unlocking continuous, heat-boosted fruiting. It's the perfect example of how container growing doesn't limit your harvest. Sometimes, it actually unlocks it. The biggest mistake many home gardeners make is assuming sprawling in-ground space automatically produces the best fruit harvest. But as we've seen today, smaller, portable container setups often create far better growing conditions. You get total soil control, easy sun management, rapid root establishment, instant portability, and far more reliable heat protection. That's why so many dwarf fruit trees actually thrive in container culture. You don't need a huge backyard orchard to grow impressive, sweet summer fruit. Sometimes, a well-managed pot can outperform a massive garden bed, proving that successful gardening isn't about having more space, but using your setup more intelligently.